We all know that Britain's economy is in a perilous state, but don't worry, a great economist has come to the rescue. Rachel Reeves, yes, our Rachel from accounts, has stepped in to pick up the pieces. The finances were a mess, unchecked spending, tax breaks everywhere, borrowing ballooning, and rather than any glamorous heroics, Rachel quietly got on with the job of balancing the books. Because, make no mistake, all of this was everyone else's fault. The previous managers, aka the Tories, let debt and deficit grow unchecked. Departments went wild with spending. Benefits ballooned. Oh, you don't mention that one. Assuming someone else will pick up the tab. Well, tax rises were postponed or dismissed, as though the money would miraculously appear. Rachel didn't shrug. She didn't wait for someone else to fix it. She raised the alarm with the public. She pulled back on the spending a little bit. She handed out some money to her union paymasters. She put in place the tax hikes that have been lurking in the shadows, because sometimes saving us means unpopular decisions. Why the tax rises? The narrative goes our ledger was leaking. Rachel found all the holes, and she said we're going to have to raise taxes. And yes, people groaned, but she pointed out the earlier missed decisions left us no choices. Those tax rises weren't about ambition, they were about necessity. But a year later, why blame everyone else? Because it wasn't Rachel doing that the books were in such a state. She inherited a mess. She inherited promises made without means. She inherited debt. So when Rachel says, we must act, we're hearing the voice of someone clearing up someone else's spill. Others overspent, others delayed tax, others left the European Union, others didn't do it properly, others sat back. She'll always act in the national interest. Rachel from accounts is saying this is not optional anymore. Tax rises and broken manifesto promises are a difficult dish to serve, so a great economist like a chef needs to prepare the dish in advance and let the people baste a little bit. So, you weigh and slice the challenge like a dead halibut. You drop in a mention of Brexit, it's always the fault of Brexit. Spice it with a little sprinkle of the mini budget. People still believe it was all Liz and Kwasi's fault. Add a smattering of hesitations and ums and uhs, and don't forget to mention reform to make sure everyone knows Labour view them as the government in waiting. Now we have the recipe to digest the pain. But what's the uncomfortable bit? Well, we feel the pain of higher taxes and fewer freebies. We're told this is for your future. Rachel's selling deferred relief, not instant gratification. We have to trust that Rachel knows what she's doing. What could go wrong? Well, in fairness, the upside is stability. If the tax rises plug the holes, then we avoid a full-blown crisis. There's fairness if everyone contributes, the burden doesn't fall unfairly. Some of those choose to leave, the burden might rise. Long-term health, well, because yes, the remedy may hurt, but the disease was worse. We know before the tax rises that we can't be sure of anything except that Rachel's here to save the day. So yes, Rachel from accounts is saving us with tax rises. Not because she's gleeful about raising taxes, because she sees no other way. She might be right. And yes, everyone else is to blame for putting us in that position. It's not her or Keir. She didn't create this mess. She had no idea when she read all those government briefings they were true. She's just clearing it up. Thank you, Rachel.